Hi guys, today I'm going to review a nice couple of brushes that will help you sculpt and show you how to achieve a realistic shade and light. So here it is, this really pretty starlight sort of effect. This is the Smashbox Star Bright Cheek Palette. So we have Photon Photon Op, I guess, Bronze Age, and Atom's Apple. So we gotta have fun when it's a makeup brand. So you can see it's got these three colors. It's like a pinky sculpt, well, let's say pinky blush. There's a bit of a sculpt and a slight glow. It's quite warm, so I'll be interested to see how it performs. Now to contour, I think I wanted to give you a few options. So there's the Morphe E4 brush, which is this slightly angled brush. And I've picked up the 190 bronzer brush by Fenty, which is that cheek hugging brush, right? Just because it's new, I want to just try my hand around this brush and see the options it offers me. So I'm going to cover the bottom part of the brush with this contour and the top part with this highlight, but just a little of the highlight and more of the contour. So I feel like that means that it will give me an immediate contour and highlight, which it really has. I just had to angle it slightly because that's how it hugged my cheek better. So you can see the bottom half of the brush has contoured your face and the tip of it has highlighted. It's cool, it tells you exactly where you want it to go, but your options for blending, I guess you would have to angle the brush a little bit. So I'm leaning it forward, leaning it backwards. It's a pretty cool brush, and this product I think is got like quite an immediate result, as you can see. It's definitely, doing its thing. I can see depth and light quite immediately. So let's do the same technique on the other side. So using the bottom of the Fenty brush, I'm going to pick up contour and just a little bit of the highlight. And I'm going to angle the brush a little bit like this and just move it back and forth. And that will kind of perfectly create your sculpt. So it's quite a genius brush for those of you who, sort of struggle with your placement. This will definitely do that for you. As for the product, I think you can see that that's a pretty immediate result. I've got a very immediate sculpt. Because of this brush, you're not really able to blend much. So I think for placement, it's a really good idea, but if you want to blend, you need to sort of do that with a brush that allows you to not just stay in that one spot. So this kind of clamps onto your cheekbone, so you can't really move it up or down. It is where it is. So only through taking the dark at the bottom and the light at the top was I able to create the dimension. With an ordinary brush, of course, you're free to go up and down. So for example, I think I would like to blend this a bit more, and that looks to me a lot more convincing than, say, this, which is two stripes after all. Right, that looks substantially more believable. And that's what good contouring is. So since that brush obviously doesn't at all help you with the rest of your face, I'm going to stick with my Morphe E4 brush. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to pick up a little bit of the contour on the point of this brush, and I'm just going to hit my warm areas right at the edge, so I don't overdo it with the contouring. I'm just going to push that into my base. That's when it starts to look realistic and believable. You can't have stripes sitting on top. Taking a little bit just across the whole face of the brush, just to soften what we did. Make my temples nice, sculpt my jawline. Yeah, I think we can agree that sculpting is, really great. And don't forget that Smashbox, these are Max Factor's grandkids, so they've been making makeup for the screen, for the camera, forever, since the camera was making films, So Max Factor is, the grandfather of what we do. So his contouring skills, spirit seem to live on through the grandkids, and that's a really great color. You can see it's disappeared into my skin, but it's given me a lot of dimension. So the formula is really beautiful, I think. As for the highlighter, I think I'll just use maybe a slightly more fluffy brush. This is the Morphe M433. It's an eyeshadow brush, but it'll allow me to just take a little bit of the highlighter and just hit a few key areas with it. Just a bit. Since the Fenty brush has already delivered us some punch. If you get towards your texture, just make sure to sort of rub it away or rub it in with your finger. When you have texture, shimmer is not your friend. So just try to make sure it doesn't hit the texture, because that's never a good look. So there, I think the highlight it's quite strong, so I'm really using a little bit. And then I'm going to take that same Morphe brush, I'm going to empty it totally out and just push it around and push it into my base. As you can see, I think that's pretty realistic. And now a little bit of the blush. So I'm just going to hit the face of this towards the edges, and I'm going to smash it on the mirror to make sure it's not too much. And just after the apple of my cheek, I'm just going to sweep with the point, just a little flush of color. Nothing too much. And then what I would do is I would totally clean my brush off and soften. So there you have it. I don't have anything on my eyes yet, no mascara, no nothing, so you can just see the sculpting and the blush and the highlighter clearly doing its magic. So I hope I've given you a little idea though of taking it easy with that contouring and highlighting. It should look like your own skin, and it shouldn't look like big shiny stripes or big dark stripes on your face. Try and keep it sort of gentle and subtle and believable. It's always more effective. Thank you so much for joining me. Please subscribe and like, and thank you for all of your support if you've already subscribed. Take care guys, bye!